Both the police and the MDC Alliance have dismissed social media reports that MDCA Vice President Mr. Tendai Biti was abducted at his Harare home on Monday. Social media stories had indicated Mr. Biti was abducted at his Harare home by suspected state security agents on Monday night. In a statement, National Police spokesperson Assistant Commissioner Paul Nee said, "The ZRP has checked with all police stations, and no report of alleged abduction or kidnapping of Tendai Biti has been received." The police are currently monitoring the situation. MDC Alliance spokesperson Ms. Fadzai Mahere described as fake news that Mr. Biti was seized from his home by heavily armed men who bundled him in an Isuzu pickup truck and drove off. The original social media reports cited MDC Alliance Secretary General Charlton Hwend confirming Mr. Biti's alleged abduction, but the party dismissed the claims. Ms. Mahere said Mr. Biti was not abducted and was at no point reported missing. "We confirm that VP Tendai Biti is safe," she said. "We have verified that, contrary to reports in a fake news story published by an online paper, he was not abducted, nor did he go missing." Recently, the opposition MDC Alliance party led by Mr. Nelson Chamisa has been burning the midnight candle, fervently agitating for economic sanctions imposed by the United States and its allies to stay as the party appears unsettled by the prospects of their removal ahead of the 2023 national elections. The attempts were manifested last month when Mr. Chamisa and his retinue of hangers-on attempted to torch a violent storm in Masvingo to cast the government in a bad light, but that ploy dismally flopped. After failing to grab his desired attention ahead of the visit by United Nations Special Rapporteur Ms. Alina Dowhan, who was in the country on a 10-day fact-finding mission to assess the impact of the illegal sanctions, the MDCA leader in cahoots with anti-government civil society organizations have been preparing damaging dossiers to submit to the UN Special Rapporteur. In a draft report to be submitted to Ms. Dowhan and gleaned by this publication, the MDCA sensationally claims that Mr. Chamisa escaped an assassination attempt last month and was banned from traveling around the country. This claim was made while Mr. Chamisa was touring the country and while claiming gunshots hit the car he was using. Forensic experts were not allowed to see or examine the car. Presently, 3 MDCA activists Jonah Mamam, Cecilia Chimbiri and Netsai Marova are facing charges of faking abductions and stand accused of employing a wide range of tactics to delay their trial since their arrest in May 2020. They timed their antics to coincide with another international event so as to negatively spotlight the country. Using the alleged abduction of the trio, MDCA Vice President Tendai Biti wrote a letter to the World Bank President David Malpass claiming that the 3 were arrested, tortured and sexually assaulted by security forces. But these remain just claims. The anti-Zimbabwe stance taken by the MDCA is in stark contrast to the collective national aspirations, which have seen other opposition parties, the church and the business community calling for the unconditional removal of the illegal economic sanctions that have bled the country of billions. During hearings of the U.S. sanctions laws at the turn of the millennium, that country's former Assistant Secretary for African Affairs Chester Crocker is infamous for remarking that, to separate the Zimbabwean people from ZANU-PF, we have to make their economy scream. I hope you senators have the stomach for what you have to do. Since the illegal sanctions were imposed in 2001, Zimbabwe has lost an estimated $42 billion, losing an estimated $45 billion in donor support annually for more than 2 decades. The country also lost $2 billion in IMF, World Bank and African Development Bank loans which could have helped in developing infrastructure, as well as losing commercial loans amounting to $18 billion which could be extended to the private sector and other companies. Zimbabwe experienced a $21 billion reduction in GDP over the past 2 decades.